A victim mindset creates victim circumstances. If you embody a victim consciousness, you have thoughts and feelings around being a victim, you have beliefs around being a victim, you're going to manifest and create a reality where you are a victim. You will attract situations in where you end up being a victim. And that's because consciousness creates reality. This is what quantum physics is showing us. So realize the victim mindset does not serve you and it's only going to hinder you. So the sooner you get rid of it, the better. And there's also this quote that says, you can't control what happens to you. You control your response to it. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 8 ways to overcome the victim mindset. And number 8 is going to be the best, most valuable piece of information that I share in this video. So that's why I left it till last, because it's really going to open your eyes up and it's going to be a game changer in your life. So the first thing that you can do to help yourself get out of this victim consciousness, this victim mindset, is to have a perspective shift. So what I mean by a perspective shift is to replace, why is this happening to me, to what is this trying to teach me? When you do that, you go from being disempowered to empowered. So the whole reason we're here on the planet is to learn lessons so that our soul can grow and evolve. And you do not learn lessons from the good times, the good things that happen in your reality, the positive experiences. You learn the lessons from the negative times. So whenever something negative's happened in your life where you may be a victim, when you look at the situation, instead of looking at it like, why is this happening to me? I'm a poor little victim. And you start looking at it to, what is this trying to teach me? You can then look for the lesson. You learn the lesson, and therefore your soul can grow and evolve. And I'll share an example of this with you. So last year, I basically was led on by this guy that I was friends with for 5 years. We got together. He basically told me a whole bunch of lies that I believed, and then he dumped me because I injured myself. I was, basically stuck on the couch for about 6 weeks. And so instead of looking at it like, poor me, I'm a victim that got led on and lied to and then dumped, I looked at it like, okay, so what is this trying to teach me? And I realized there was a couple of lessons there. Firstly, I realized that I hadn't healed my abandonment wound, which is why I attracted in another male that is emotionally unavailable. So it was like, okay, I need to work on healing this abandonment wound. I also realized I wasn't embodying worthiness. I wasn't embodying my self-worth. So it made me have a look at these things, and I worked on them, and I've had that transformation. Like, I no longer have an abandonment wound, and I now embody worthiness. I learned something from the experience. So have that perspective shift and start looking for the lessons so that you can learn. And when you learn these lessons, you stop. Because you create everything in your reality, you stop creating these situations because you've already learned the lesson. If you don't learn the lesson, you keep attracting the same situation with different people until you learn it. Now, the second thing that you can do to get out of this victim mindset, this is a really important one, and that is to get closure on past hurts. If you are still carrying around your past hurts in your subconscious mind, in your body, your nervous system, your energy field, then that will help fuel you into thinking and feeling like a victim. However, if you revisit those past hurts and heal yourself from them, you're able to release them and let them go and get that closure. And so the way you do that is by using what's called the Reframe Technique. So firstly, realize that in life there is no built-in meaning at all. Everything is neutral, and it's the meaning that you choose to give it. And when a negative situation happens to us, we normally would give it a negative meaning and think and feel like a victim, and then we hang on to it and we carry it around. So by revisiting these past hurts and using the reframe technique and changing the meaning that you give it, you change it from a negative meaning to a positive one. When you give it that positive meaning, you're able to let it go and release it, and it won't fuel you into thinking and feeling like a victim. So what you do is, it's sort of like what I said in the first one, is you look for the lesson. Okay, this past hurt happened. What was the positive? What was it trying to teach me? Because like I said, all the negative situations are there to serve you. It's trying to teach you a lesson. So you revisit it. You're like, okay, what did this try and teach me? Oh, it taught me this, or I learned from this mistake. And then you give it a positive meaning, so you're able to let it go. And I also recommend as well, as part of that, is to practice forgiveness. Forgiving those that have hurt you so you can let it go, and also forgiving yourself. Sometimes we need to forgive ourselves, and that's important too. So practice forgiveness, and you may also need to do what's called inner child healing. If you have past hurts from childhood, you've got childhood wounds and traumas that are unresolved and unhealed, then again, you're going to carry them around. They will fuel you into thinking and feeling like a victim. So you can do what's called inner child healing, and that helps to heal your inner child that's been hurt, which helps you to get to that place of healing, forgiveness, and you're able to release these things and no longer see yourself as a victim. And if you want to learn more about how to do inner child healing, I have a video on it that I will link at the end of this one, so you can watch that and learn more about how to do that. Now, the third thing that you can do is to practice accountability. So quantum physics shows us that we create our own realities. All the experiences that we are having in our reality with other people, we create it. So start taking responsibility for that. Take responsibility for your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. Your thoughts, feelings, and actions is what's making up your reality. Stop blaming others for how you feel. And I'm going to share something with you that I learned from Gary Vaynerchuk, and that is to stop pointing the finger and to start pointing the thumb, and that is when shit starts getting good. You go from being disempowered to empowered. When you start taking that accountability, you take that responsibility, you realize, oh, this is all on me. I'm the one that's creating these situations with these people in my life. That is when shit's going to start getting good for you. Now, the fourth thing that you can do is to make a gratitude list. So by making a gratitude list, you take the focus of what you don't have and put it on what you do have. You have this perspective shift where you shift from focusing on the lack in your life to focusing on your blessings. And then whenever you notice yourself slipping back into victimization, you can pull that list out and read it just to remind yourself of the good things you've got going on in your life. Now, the fifth tip that I have for you is to meditate. So you can use meditation as a practice to observe your thoughts, your feelings, and your behaviors or actions. And this is because we spend most of the day on autopilot. Our thought patterns, our emotional patterns, and our behavioral patterns are unconscious to us. And if you have these thoughts, feelings, and behaviors around being a victim that you're unconscious to, then you're going to keep playing a victim and keep creating a reality where you're a victim. So awareness is key. By becoming aware of these things, you can then catch yourself out when you slip into the victim mindset. And awareness is 90% of transformation. Now, the sixth thing that you can do is to find a victor's mantra. So you can use a victor's mantra to motivate and empower yourself through self-talk. So I'll share an example of a victor's mantra. I am not a victim of my past. My future is not predetermined. My life is what I choose it to be from this moment moving forward. You can use that victor's mantra if you want, or you could just write your own one and just start saying it to yourself every single day. Now, the seventh thing that is important to do is to have an identity shift. So your identity is flexible and you can change it and shape it and mold it however you want, whenever you want. And when you shift your identity, you shift your reality. This is why it's powerful. So if you stop seeing yourself as a victim, you stop identifying as a victim, and instead you have that identity shift. You now see yourself as a victor and you identify yourself as a victor, then the outer reality will shift to mirror that. And you will start attracting in situations where you are a victor. And now we're going to go into the last one, number 8, which is the most valuable piece of information I'm going to share in this video. And number 8 is kind of like the last resort. Like if you've applied all these other things I've said and you're still slipping into that victim mindset, then number 8 is what you want to be doing, and that is change your subconscious programming. So what I've learned recently from reading Dr. Joe Dispenza's book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, is that the mind is not in control. The body is in control. And basically what he says is that the body runs on emotional programs, which is a subconscious program. And so the body memorizes emotions. And most of us have bodies that have memorized negative emotions. It could be things like anger, fear, anxiety, lack, victimization, unworthiness. And so if you have a body that's memorized victimization, then, and you've tried all these other things that I've recommended and they don't work, then I recommend to buy this book, because at the end of this book, he takes you through a 4-week meditation process where you unmemorize these negative emotions that don't serve you. And then you rememorize positive emotions in the body instead. And I am currently going through this 4-week meditation process myself. So I'm going to make a video that talks more about this and goes more in depth after I've experienced it for myself, because I want to sort of share my experience in the video too. But I just think this is a really important thing to know that most people are unaware of. So keep in mind that you may have a body that has memorized victimization. If you find yourself falling back into victimization after applying all these other things that I've suggested to do, then that would be the last resort to get rid of this victimization once and for all. So I hope you liked this video, guys. I hope you got value out of it. And if you did, let me know by hitting the like button or write a comment. And if you like this sort of content, then make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification. And I'm going to leave a video here that talks more about inner child healing, if you want to learn more about how to do that for yourself. Hope you have an awesome day. Peace.